Hi everyone, haven't vlogged in a while. Funny timing. Today is like July 6th, I think, or something. I just came back from my 1-year follow-up, my annual appointment with my gynecologist, which is like, whatever. I was in and out, like, it's been like a half an hour or something, but it's been a year. It'll be a year tomorrow that I was downstairs from where I was earlier, and I was being poked and prodded for my biopsies, and that's when they told me I had cancer. I don't count like my start date, like the first vlog that I did where I'm like, start date, whatever, 0, 1, whatever. I don't, I count that date as like my official diagnosis because they told me during the biopsy, during the ultrasound. You can go back and watch that lovely vlog. I believe it's the first one. I've come so far. Yeah, that was July 9th. I'll never forget. It was July 9th. But that was when I got the phone call, I think. I have to go back and look. I'm almost positive that was when I got the phone call with the results that, like, it definitely was cancer. I haven't used the C word in a while. My last vlog, I was heading out to Germany, and I'm now back from Germany. I had a wonderful time. It was truly like it might have been the best vacation I've had. Even though, like, I was slower than usual, and like, I just couldn't keep up. My tendonitis was like awful, and you're walking on like cobblestone streets and stuff, and my lungs like just couldn't keep up with the walking, which could be COVID, it just could be my age, it could be the weight gain, I have no idea. But it's like through all of that stuff, I was with my kids, and I was with my younger son, and this is probably going to be the last time I take a vacation with them, because like they're, you know, quasi adults now out of high school and doing their thing, and my older son is still there for another month studying abroad. And it was just so, like, after all the crazy that's been going on the past month the past year, or really more than that before I even knew, but after all the crazy, like, to be away with my kids in a foreign country, and my older son, like, just knowing the places to take us. I'm like, I don't even know what to do when we go. I'm usually like the planner, and I'm like, obviously planning doesn't always work. In life, planning has not really worked out that well for me. In certain things it has, but like, I had a plan of what my life was going to look like, you know. I checked off several things off of that plan, and then, like, bajoom, something happens, and life doesn't go according to plan, and then all of a sudden it's like, hello, this is my life, and you have to adjust and realize the good that you have. So it's not July 9th yet, and I just wanted to vlog quick just because it's fresh in my head, and I need to regurgitate my thoughts on a year out from going to, you know, the hospital and going for my annual with my gynecologist. Before I get to work, I just want to, like, get it out of my head. I've never been a journaler. I've tried many times. I own a lot of blank journals, or half written in journals, or more like 10% written in journals. And this has been my way of getting it out. And my goal is on July 9th. You know, for New Year's, I had done, like, here are my grievances for all the, like, crappy things of what has happened in the past year, or at that point it was, what, 5 months or so. And I want to do my July 9th one as, like, you know, here's what I've learned, and here are, I hate to say positive, because, like, you would think nothing about cancer is positive, but there have been some changes about my life that have been healthier for me. And by healthier, I mean not just physically healthier, but like mentally, socially, relationship-wise, all of that. So I'll focus more on that. I'll do a vlog on the 9th. I just feel like I need to. And I can't say like it's like 1 year cancer-free because my surgery wasn't until August. But that July 9th date is just like, psh, Like I can picture it like it was yesterday. But anyway, I'll do that then. So for right now, like, it was just interesting. I had my year appointment. So she did a pap smear, and they did do an HPV test too. And the appointment was pretty short. It takes like a week and a half to get the pap results back. The HPV comes back pretty quickly. And there's been talk that, like, you know, if the HPV is positive again, which a lot of people get HPV positive test results, the irony is that, like, they say, like if you're sexually active, like, you're pretty much going to be HPV positive at some point. At least people like my age. Now there's like vaccinations, I think, against it and stuff. And it didn't really mean anything to me at this point, but it's just kind of a, you know, make sure everything's okay. But the funny thing is, this is like TMI. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. I think just because, so that people aren't afraid when they get positive HPV results, because it is so common. And I'm talking around the bush here, but I've had so many people reaching out to me with like really long messages and stuff lately about how much the vlogs have been helping them. And I'm so, like, that makes me so happy that I haven't cried in a while. I did for a short time today. But, like, that's why I'm doing these vlogs, and I was happy to not do them when I was in Germany. I didn't even talk about cancer the entire time I was there. It was awesome. Like, I might have complained about, like, me being slow and the weight gain and, like, having to do things on mom time because mom's moving slower these days. But I didn't talk about cancer. There was no need to. Most of my speaking was in German, and I like, why would I bring it? You know, if I said the wrong word, it would come across really weird in translation. But I'm happy that I can be a resource for people that are going through this at whatever, like, you know, stage you're at with the whole thing. Because, I mean, there is a lot of negativity out there, and yes, I do complain about stuff, because, like, there's a lot to complain about, but there's also a lot to be grateful for, and it just means a lot to me for those of you that have been reaching out, like, you know, sharing your stories with me and stuff. It means so much. It means that, like, all this stuff matters, and, you know, you wonder sometimes, why am I on this earth, you know? And for me, I feel like a large part is sharing. A good friend of mine told me I should start to look into becoming a life coach, which actually was something I've been thinking about. I have to see, like, how much is really involved in all of that, because there's different, like, tiers of what you can do, but it just means a lot to me to you know that I'm helping other women out there, or men, that are, like, going through all of this. But anyway, going back to the HPV thing. So, like, yeah, I don't want people to be, like, super scared. I mean, yes, you have to follow up on it if your HPV test comes back positive, depending on, I think, what your pap is. You get a colposcopy, they do a biopsy. I've had so many of those at this point, but nothing's ever come up cancerous with that at all. But being that the last time I went to the gynecologist, I had the polyp and I had the fibroid on the inside of my uterus that she removed. It was not a good appointment. You can rewind, and I think I probably vlogged around that time, but it freaking hurt. It hurt a lot, because that's usually like a surgical thing, like you go into like the hospital for, and yeah, she did it in office, because I'm like, can we just, like, kind of just get it done? And I did, and it was a lot of pain, but in a short period of time. And the polyp's out. I haven't had any bleeding since then. But anyway, so I go, I'll wait till I get the test results back, and it's, like, very flashbacky to what it was like a year ago. Even, like, when I went in to sit down, there was a new nurse practitioner that was in there who I've never seen, and I'm like, no, like, I don't do new people anymore. Like, I need to make sure my doctor's coming in. And when she left, and I was waiting for the doctor to come in, you know, she's like, get undressed from the bottom down. And that's the first time that, like, I've been to the gynecologist where they haven't asked me to put a Johnny on my top. So I'm like, so what does that mean? Do I not have like breast exams anymore? I get that I don't really have breasts anymore. Like, how does that work? I don't know how that works. So I did the bottom down. My doctor came in, I talked to her, she's phenomenal. And I said to her, like, so what happens now? Like, you know, I'm wearing my regular shirt, and I'm like, so do you just not deal with my boobs anymore? Like, is it just plastics that looks at my boobs now? Because I'm like, there's still, you know, the angel and the devil's still saying, you know, something else is wrong. Like, you know, you have a freckle or whatever, you know, something's up. And I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. You know, once you, at least for me, like, I feel like once you have cancer, you just have this paranoia that it's someplace else. And like, you know, one rogue cell went someplace else and you just don't know about it yet because it's too small. Like, I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to be paranoid, but I don't want to miss anything either. So anyway, she said, like, if I wanted to, she could do a breast exam. She's like, you know, all they really do is check around where my lymph nodes are, and check around the breast. And so she left, and I took my top off, put a Johnny on, and she felt around the sides. Oh, I can't really see. Here's my boobs. She felt around the sides here. It was a little tender on this side. I don't know why. And then it just felt like she was like, there's a guy next to me, like, why is she poking at her boob? It just felt like she was like poking. I didn't look to see what she was doing, but it just felt like she was like poking around. I mean, she's very experienced and she is very on top of like new technology and stuff, but it just felt like she's like poking, like, oh, okay. Like, you know, what happens if I push this? Will it bounce back? Like, oh, how is this different from what it was before? Because there's no breast tissue. There's no breast tissue. There's nothing there. It's an implant and my skin. Like, that's it. There's nothing else there. And I told her, like, I'm you know, she asked if I was following up with plastics, and I said, yeah. I said, you know, when I laid back, and you can't tell obviously here, and I'm not taking my top off, but on my left side, I've mentioned this before, but on my left side, when I lay back, this side kind of just needs to get pushed over a little bit more, just like the way that it healed. It seems like the implant didn't like come all the way over, because when I lay on my back, like, it's like flat, and then it like your sternum's there, and then it kind of goes down a little bit. It's like an indentation kind of, and it weirds me out because it's like I can feel that there's nothing there, and I don't like it. And the implant, like my scar's here, and my implant was here, whereas on this side it's like all the way over where it's supposed to be. So this side falls really nicely here, like a normal boob does, and this one is just kind of like over a little bit. So like my clothes were shifting. I talked about that a bit, just because they're not like this one just needs to come over a little bit. So he said he can like go back in and just like bring it over, sew it back down again. And I'm gonna wait till he does that before I do anything with the tattooing, because it makes no sense to tattoo my nipples on before he does all that. Like, I want all the cutting and shit to be done with, and then I'll take care of that. I did, by the way, I was wearing the silicone strips again. I just figured, what the hell, I'll just put them back on. I gave my body quite a break from them. I obviously didn't bring them during my trip to Germany, but I just want my scars to get lighter. And it's tough because I'm fair skinned, so like, you know, my scars might just be what they are, whatever. Yeah, so she wanted to make sure I was following up with plastics, which of course I am. And, you know, I was telling her, she's like, you know, how are you feeling? You know, whatever. And I'm like, here's my list of things that are, ugh. And the biggest thing really that's getting in the way is it's freaking July, and it's not even that hot out. It's 80 degrees outside right now, and I am in my car with the air conditioning blasting, and I'm sorry if it's loud, but I'm just hot all the time. You know, I said my internal body temperature is just high. It's not hot flashes. It is all the freaking time. I have, where is it? Here it is. My little friend. I bought this. Oh, my finger's in the way. Sorry. Ah. Crap. There we go. I bought this on Amazon. Best investment ever. It's handheld. You press it. 1, 2, 3. And then it bends. So it charges through a USB. So you can bring it to work and plug it in there, and then I can bend it and just put it on my desk like this. And in the middle of the night, it's funny because when I was in Germany, I slept like a baby. I slept so well. I have not slept that well since all this shit happened. Oh my God. But apparently I'm snoring like holy cow. My poor son. Oh my God. I listen to I have Sleep Cycle, so I can hear myself, or I can record myself snoring. And my snoring is so bad. It's partly because of the weight gain too, but I also used to sleep on my stomach, and I'm not anymore because of my, I'm not comfortable doing that yet. Anyway, since I've been home, I slept good the first night, and then I get him up after a couple of hours, and I'm just like super hot. So I'll just like put this next to my bed, put it on, cool myself off, and then eventually just fall asleep. And if it's dead in the morning, I just recharge it. So this has been awesome. This is, I would, what's the company? Ursion, whatever. It's just a fan, and it just like bends like that, like that. I did not pack it to Germany because it very easily presses on. And I couldn't figure out how to get the battery thing open. It was kind of stuck. Anyway. So, yeah, so I'm waiting to hear the test results back, and as much as it's triggering, maybe it'll hit me more later. I just wanted to talk about it to get it out of my system about the whole appointment. She did a PAP, what they usually do. I was out in like 15 minutes, it seemed. It was pretty short. And like I even asked her, because when you're on tamoxifen, you get not everyone, but you can get this clear discharge, and it's gross. Like, I'll be gross, I don't care. It feels like you're wet all the time, which I guess isn't a bad problem because oh, what I was saying before was that HPV, I know I'm everywhere. Welcome back. HPV, people tend to test positive for it if they're sexually active. The irony for me is that I've tested positive for HPV more since I've not been sexually active. With the pandemic and stuff, like I haven't been sexually active in quite some time. But sometimes you just get it. It is what it is. And, you just check to make sure it's not anything cancerous. And they do a colposcopy, take a biopsy, and see what happens. And like I said, all of mine have been benign. The brain thing. It's gotten so much better, but apparently I just lost it. Crap. Whatever, I'll come back to it. And I love when people watch these and they're like, I knew what you were saying, and they're looking at the TV or at their phone going, Jen, this is what you were talking about, and I just don't remember. So yeah, so I'll wait to get the results back, and I feel like this is where I was before, and then I'm almost less nervous if like they both come back positive. Like if the PAP's abnormal and the HPV is positive, I'll go in for a colposcopy. I've done that a billion times before. And like, what if this time it comes back malignant, Okay, so you're taking out my uterus. It's not as scary to me anymore. I don't know. Oh, I remember what I was saying. I don't know. I'm not as scared if she's like, we need to... If you haven't had cancer and I haven't had the history that I've had, there's probably other things to do instead of just going right to removing your uterus. It's just that with all the stuff that I've been through, there's no need for me to have it. I'm not having any more kids, and my uterus is enlarged from all this like crazy, and it could make things go away. What I was saying before, which I couldn't remember, but when I mentioned the discharge and stuff, it happens because of the tamoxifen. It's clear. It's not like it's red or anything like that. When I had the brownish discharge, that was bad. That was when I had to go in, and that was the polyp. I had that for like 2 weeks, and I probably shouldn't have waited as long. Whatever. I mean, either way there was a polyp there, and I would have needed to have it removed. Damn, I start talking about something else, and I'm like, loop back around. Because I asked her about the discharge, and I said, will that go away over time, or is that just something that happens like for the whole 5 to 10 years that you're on tamoxifen? And her response was that, like, well, every woman's different, or every person is different. And I know that's true, and it's annoying to hear, because it's like every symptom that you have, everyone's different. Not everyone gets tendinitis. Not everyone gets a discharge. Most people do have, like, the hot flashes, I think. Most people, I think, have weight gain. But she said, like, we pushed your body into menopause, like, so fast. She's like, this is, like, your body's way of rebelling. And she's like, now that so much time has gone by, she's actually very pleased with where I am in the whole process. Yeah, these things suck. Today it was so humid and like hot out, even though it's only 80. I'm like, I can't deal with hair today, and it just needs to go back in a bun and whatever. I don't care. That's part of one of the pros of all this stuff. I just care a lot less about things that don't matter. Like, the weight will come off, and even if it doesn't, like, whatever. The biggest thing with the weight is I just want to be healthy, and I want to be able to, like, move like I used to be able to move. I want to have endurance, and I just don't feel good with my weight gain. And I need to honor my body as to, like, taking care of myself. This weekend I had some really weird GI things going on. My only guess, it was probably because of the overindulgence when I was in Germany, because I had no GI issues in Germany. And for those of you that know about German food, most German food would give you GI issues. But I was fine when I was there. Like, it was just awesome. It was so awesome. It was such a great trip. Ugh. Anyway, backstory, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my parents are both immigrants from Germany. So I went to German school for 8 years, graduated when I was 14. I'm now 50, so that's a long time in between. But I took my kids to Germany 5 years ago, which was really good timing before the pandemic, but I wanted my kids to just have the ability to be on that trip and see, like, their family that they've never met before. But, like, going overseas as a single parent with 2 kids, it was, like, a lot. And this time it was just interesting because I was going over with 1 kid, but he's 17, and my older one was already there. So it was like I wasn't even, like, really in charge, which was kind of cool. And I used to, the first time that we went back, I went on Duolingo and I practiced my German, but they give you the most, like, asinine things to practice. Literally yesterday on Duolingo, they gave me a sentence to translate that said, "The owl does not play piano all the time." When would you ever say that sentence in Germany? But it gives you enough nuggets that, like, because I have the background and because, like, I was around, like, my parents, spoke German a lot at home when I was little, and I still have a lot of family that's over there that are some that are my age. So when they talk to me, usually on WhatsApp or something, I can, like, piece together stuff. So I didn't do anything to prepare this time at all. I did nothing. I didn't practice anything. I actually had a panic attack before. It was right after my last vlog. My last vlog, I was like, woo, I'm going to Germany. And then I looked at my suitcases when I was done, and I was like, I have to pack. And I just froze. Like, I didn't know what to do. I just froze, and it was nuts. But once I got to the airport, I was fine, but I just couldn't pack. It was really weird. So much to go through, but I need to get to work. Yeah, I thought I would cry more, but I didn't. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's not like I'm becoming numb or anything. It's just like, I don't get as worked up over things as I did. I'll talk about that more, like, this weekend. I'll do another vlog. But I just wanted to check in on the appointment. So now I'm like, this is where I was a year ago, where, you go into the doctor, you do the tests and stuff, and you just sit there waiting. And, when the phone says Newton Wellesley, I'm like, ah! Because if they call, that's not good. But you know what? If they call and it's not good, I've handled this shit through a lot of very adverse situations, like didn't have family up here, learned a lot about relationships when I was up, when all this stuff happened, and amazing, like, who stepped up to help me. I'll talk about that more in a couple of days, but if they call and it's bad news, like, you know what? I'll figure it out. I figured it out last time, and I'm here, I'll figure it out. I don't know. And if they get rid of a uterus, maybe that'll get rid of some of my weight. I don't know. I have no idea how much a uterus weighs. It seems really small, but I imagine there's probably a lot of like fluid buildup. Like when I saw pictures of myself in Germany, I looked so swollen and stuff, but like I wasn't there to pick anybody up, so I didn't really care. I cared a little, but I didn't like super care. But I just look so waterlogged, and maybe I look like that now. I don't know. I just look so bloated and waterlogged and like big, and I didn't like it. I'm like, that's not what I want to look like. And I should say I didn't feel good. I did feel good. My feet didn't feel good, but getting dressed is still like a thing. I don't know. I'm not here right now to impress anyone. I'm not here to pick up anyone. I'm just not there. I just have to focus on my health, and whatever they call and tell me, I will deal with it. I've dealt with it once, and I didn't think I could do it, and lo and behold, here I am. Alrighty, I will catch up with you in a couple days, and be Mrs. El Positivo about this whole journey. Till next time, bis bald, meine Freundin. Tschüss!